Got your barf bag handy? The Medicare for the Lazy Man podcast is on the air. The Medicare podcast for Medicare podcasters. And now, fresh from his morning nap, Medicare expert Doug Jones.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another thrill-packed episode of the Medicare for the Lazy Man podcast. This is your buddy, your Medicare advisor, and your hopefully your health insurance agent when Medicare time comes a-calling for you. In the meantime, we will just be buddies, I guess. And I am Doug Jones. I am here to help you feel confident that you're going to get the best advice that is available in the Medicare world. You're going to get it from me, and you're going to get it by virtue of my book, Medicare for the Lazy Man. When you purchase a copy of Medicare for the Lazy Man, you're going to find the simplest but yet most detailed, straightforward advice that Medicare has to offer. You're going to find that Medicare is simpler, can be simpler than most people are afraid it's going to be. You've got a few decisions to make, but generally speaking, they are decisions between this and that, not decisions from a whole plethora of choices. So Medicare is a subject that you can conquer. And when you conquer Medicare, you'll come out smelling like a rose. Your future will be heightened and brightened because if you have medical problems, which is why we have insurance, the Medicare coverage that I recommend that you get is going to be the finest coverage at the most reasonable price available in all of Medicare. And then, of course, you're going to need a Medicare drug plan. So I've written a whole book about that. It's like a workbook. You can put it next to your computer, go to the website indicated, and then turn the page, click forward on the website page, turn the page in the book, click forward on the computer website page, on the government drug plan selection and enrollment page. And before you know it, that book, Medicare Drug Plans, a simple DIY guide, will have led you through the process and no time flat. You will have selected the best, and by best I mean the cheapest, drug plan available, and you will have enrolled in that drug plan. So that's going to be a valuable service that you will have been able to avail yourself of, and that book will be useful on the Medicare government site in future years because you'll need to refer to it once a year. As long as you have a drug plan, the possibility is that drug plan can change in ways that are very unpleasant, and so it's always good towards the end of the year to check for the following year, see what's available, make sure that your drug plan is the best one for you, and if it's not, you can easily change to the next best drug plan before the end of the year so that you are set up. And that is what the government has decided that you should be able to do, so that's why I wrote the book, to help you accomplish that task. And finally, Medicare for the Lazy Man Bare Bones Edition is going to be the newest book that instructs everyone how to enroll in Medicare. And following my recommendations, this is going to be how to enroll in Medicare and acquire the best Medicare supplement plan for you. It's quick, it's down, it's dirty, it's a one and done Medicare enrollment tool. It's priced right. It's short, sweet, and to the point. So those are the three books that you can purchase when you go to Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. Actually, all three are only at Amazon.com. Barnes & Noble has the paperback version of Medicare for the Lazy Man 2025, but the other books are right now only on Amazon. So enjoy your Medicare knowledge acquisition process, and I will enjoy goofing around with Randy Carson. Hello, Randy. How are you?
Hello, Doug. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. We got down to business last time because I said we enjoyed hearing about your trip, but every episode was about 3 hours long, and so we're we're trying to return to our formerly disciplined ways of having more Medicare and less goofing around. But I'm told that that's not going to happen at the outset today.
Well, I just cannot resist playing an occasional game of Stump the Insurance Guy.
And as much as I whine and complain, as silly as I look when I can't figure out prominent historical facts, I still enjoy the game.
All right, well, we've got one question for you today, and I've already given you just a tiny bit of a hint. This question relates to baseball, and there was a baseball player back in 1915 by the name of Hannes Wagner. So, in today's world, if you are a baseball fan, what is probably the most notable thing about Hannes Wagner?
Hmm. Okay, so you're asking me why back in 1915 Honus Wagner stood out from the crowd, stood
No.
out from his teammates.
Let,
No?
let me rephrase that. In today's world, what stands
Oh.
out about Hannes Wagner?
So if Bill and Ted were to go and snatch him from his time and put him in our time, what would be the oddball thing we would notice about Honus Wagner?
Yeah, and it's a huge thing.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go out on a limb here, pardon the pun, and suggest that he might have been missing a limb. Is that possible?
No?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, that buzzer. Ouch. Cleans out my ears, though. Um, he, did he have a big giant mustache? Was that it?
No?
No.
Ding ding,
Okay.
no.
Hmm.
Ah.
So he had all of his limbs. He didn't have any weird hair. Um, is it possible he was a oh God. I'm trying to think of I have to give up. I can't bore the audience through my mental prestidigitation and selection of the proper answer, so I'm going to have to give up.
Well, in today's world, Hannes Wagner is known for having the most valuable baseball card in the world.
You're
If
kidding.
if you have a pristine copy of Hannes Wagner's baseball card, you are a very, very rich man.
No kidding. Now, would he have shared his card with another player? Because for a long
I,
time there were two
I
players
don't
on a card.
I don't remember. I don't remember on that because I have never seen one personally. I've just read about them.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what makes his card so valuable, so prized by collectors.
Well, it's probably part of it's the age, but I think it was his I'm not, the baseball aficionados listening can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was his rookie baseball card from 1915.
Huh. Well, that's very interesting. I just never got into baseball cards. I liked baseball fine when I was a kid, but I never got into collecting baseball cards, mostly because the bubble gum that baseball cards came in was not my favorite bubble gum.
It was disgusting.
It really was. So what you would do is you would buy the the gum, save the card, and throw away the gum.
I tried what oh my maybe just once or twice I tried eating the bubble gum and I go, oh, it's just not worth it.
Now, my favorite was double bubble
Yeah,
gum, and it had
yeah.
little comics there. Bazooka Joe, no, that was Bazooka bubble gum. I like double bubble with comics, but they were rarely funny, even to a little kid. But I got to tell you, that's how the the Wrigley Company discovered the value of gum, chewing gum,
Yeah.
because they were a soap company. They sold boxes of laundry detergent all over the world, and as a premium, they started throwing in chewing gum, and they found out after a while that their sales went sky high, and they found out that people were buying boxes of the detergent, throwing the detergent away, and saving the chewing gum. And somebody,
So how many pieces did you get in a whole box?
well, I don't know. I would have thought one. but that would be poor marketing, I think. So, you know how they came, the sticks of Wrigley gum came packaged in groups of 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got either 5 spearmint or 5 double mint or 5 juicy fruit pieces. I'll bet that's how they did it in the soap boxes.
Yeah.
So otherwise, why would it be worthwhile to throw away a whole box of soap just to get?
Well, I wouldn't think it would be, but here's one more question, and I may have mentioned this to you the other day. And again, the audience is feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but this is another kind of a side question for Doug. What combination of flavors is officially known as bubblegum flavor?
Oh boy, that's interesting because there were some bubblegum brands that I liked better than others, and I don't know what the answer to that question is. I'm batting 0 today, Randy, so you're going to have to tell me.
Well, I am told now again, the people listening, feel free to chime in on this, but I am told it's a combination of strawberry and banana.
No kidding. I would not
Yeah.
have thought that. I think there were probably small variations between the bubblegum companies,
Yeah.
but I like double bubble gum the best. That was always my go-to if I was going to chew bubble gum.
Yeah.
I speaking of baseball cards, I will say that when we were in Tucson in the 70s, and I was going to school, and the content curator was going to school, we lived in an apartment complex, and a new neighbor moved in, a couple with a small child, and so they fit right in. And it turns out that the husband was an ex professional ball player who had been a pitcher for the Mets and one or two other teams, I think, but the Mets was the one I remember most vividly. And he, it turns out he didn't brag about this, but his baseball card turned out to be the one of the most valuable issued that year or within some major period of time. It's because he was on the card with somebody who became hugely famous, and I think it might have been Maury Wills. Not
Yeah.
100% sure. So my neighbor was Bill Dennehy, and his card that he shared with another rookie that year, that rookie turned out to be a big star, whereas my neighbor pinched a nerve in his arm, and he wound up not being able to continue his career, although he made several stabs at trying to make a comeback. But that nerve problem just could not be cured. And he wrote a book later on describing his life of disillusion and disappointment. And he was angry at his career having been taken from him by a fluky type of pinched nerve type of thing. And it turns out that they gave him 1,000,000 shots of cortisone. And there was a standard developed later on that somebody should only have a certain number of injections of cortisone in their lifespan. But when they were shooting him up every game, that was not known yet, or it was the wisdom of doing that was unknown. So he had quite a poor, reaction to cortisone after getting a
Yeah.
million shots.
Yeah.
But anyway, so his book is out there. It's called Rage because it gave him
Rage.
unreasonable anger. He was very difficult to get along with. But the nice thing is that he admits it, and he's now in his, I think, late 70s, probably pushing 80. So I'm sure he doesn't take it out on people anymore. In any event, it's probably time for us to get down to business. What do you think,
We
Randy?
need to make some money. Remember the Christmas fund, Doug, the Christmas fund. We got to make some money.
Well, let's just hope that everybody listens to all the advertisements so that we get our little piece of the action. You know, when an advertiser buys into our show, we like to perform well for them so that there's an audience, and we like the advertiser to pony up that cash because at some point we're going to want to spend that cash. So, what do we have here? Well, the first thing we typically do is the Medicare Advantage Minute. And the Medicare Advantage Minute article for today is actually a couple of articles, and it may be that we don't need to dredge up all the details in these, but apparently United Healthcare, and we've discussed this in the past, United Healthcare and Humana are both having legal trouble. United Healthcare confirms that it's under investigation by the Department of Justice. On Thursday, it said it's under federal investigation about its Medicare program. Now, United Healthcare is the largest health insurance company in America, and they have become known lately for questionable business practices. I'm using the word questionable. If anybody wants to come after me, go ahead and do it. But I believe it's been well established that some of these practices that they're defending would be considered questionable by reasonable people. United Health said it's launched its own review of its policies and that it has full confidence in its practices. The company's stock fell more than 2% on one morning's trading, and that was just about a week ago. No, not even a week ago. 5 days ago. United Health's Medicare program has reportedly been under scrutiny from federal investigators for possible criminal fraud. In February, the Wall Street Journal reported that the Justice Department had launched an investigation into United Health's Medicare billing practices, including potential overpayments in its Medicare Advantage program and at physician practices that the insurer owns. The Journal then reported again in May and July that the Justice Department had launched a criminal investigation into the company for possible Medicare fraud and was questioning employees about how it documented medical diagnoses. Medicare Advantage has come under increasing scrutiny from regulators and lawmakers for costing the government more than traditional Medicare would cost. This year, the government is set to spend $84 billion more on Medicare Advantage participants, than it would spend if they were enrolled in traditional Medicare. Regulators and lawmakers have placed the blame on insurance companies. The program has been lucrative for insurance companies who have also been accused of restricting care for seniors and exaggerating diagnoses to garner higher reimbursement rates from the government. In addition to investigating its Medicare practices, United Health has also reportedly been the target of antitrust investigations from the Department of Justice. The company, which owns the largest private insurer in the U.S., a physician network, a pharmacy, pharmacy benefit manager, and a billing and analytics business, was reportedly being investigated for anti-competitive effects between United Health and Optum, its health services arm that includes a physician group. The acknowledgement of the investigation is a rare step by United Health, which has declined to comment publicly on potential Department of Justice investigations. The company has struggled this year amid high medical costs, its insurance business, and new regulations in medical coding, which were put in place by the Biden administration, of all things. So that is the largest insurance company in America having big-time problems with the Department of Justice. And if their scrutiny continues, then I'm going to say that it's likely that when the Biden administration and the Trump administration both go after the same potential evildoer, it's likely that it's a really truthful, it's not something that a politically oriented company can buy their way out of or persuade their way out of. When both sides of the aisle are after you, you've probably done something wrong. And that's what it appears to me like the way things are headed now. So here's another little article about it. 5 things to know about United Healthcare and the Department of Justice investigation. So in July, former United Healthcare employees told the Wall Street Journal investigators had questioned them about the company's Medicare Advantage billing and coding practices. This investigation had been ongoing since at least 2024. Number 2, nearly every major insurance company has been accused of or settled allegations of upcoding, the fraudulent billing practice of making patients appear sicker on paper to receive higher reimbursement from the federal government. The Wall Street Journal reports that United Health Group received $8.7 billion in payments from the federal government in 2021 for diagnoses that were not documented in treatment claims from their members. Number 3, in its July 24th statement, United Health Group said that the government audits confirm the company's practices are among the most accurate in the industry. That sounds like bloviation. Number 4, United Health has launched an initiative to conduct third-party reviews of its risk assessment coding, managed care and pharmacy practices according to the statement, and number 5, United Health is the nation's largest Medicare Advantage insurer with 8.2 million members. If I were in the Medicare Advantage arena, if that were the kind of insurer that I had, and if I were hoping to be treated well by my insurance company, I might consider a change at this point. And in fact, I would seriously consider a change to a non-Medicare Advantage plan, which in this case would be going back to original Medicare with a Medicare supplement. That's the way I would be headed if it were me. What else do we like to do? Well, we like to read a little segment of the big, heavy Medicare government book entitled Your Medicare Benefits 2025. This thing has a lot of things that Medicare can cover in terms of medical treatment for individual humans and for collective humans. And I told everybody what we were going to study. This time it's the Obesity Behavioral Therapy. That is the segment that they address for today's segment of the Medicare, Your Medicare Benefits. Obesity behavioral therapy includes an initial screening for body mass index and behavioral therapy sessions that include a dietary assessment and counseling to help you lose weight by focusing on diet and exercise. Medicare covers obesity screenings and behavioral counseling if you have a BMI of 30 or more. I don't know if that's really big or not. Medicare covers this counseling if your primary care doctor or other primary care practitioner gives the counseling in a primary care setting, like a doctor's office, where they can coordinate your personalized plan with your other care. Oh, how much care do you need? For more information, visit medicare.gov/coverage/obesity-behavior-therapy. That sounds like exciting reading. Oh boy, this is the Medicare content curator, the Medicare for the Lazy Man content curator's favorite subject matter. She likes to hear from clients, both people who are clients and people who are going to be clients. And that's what we have first of all. This is Mary. So Mary says, "Good morning, Doug. I have not seen anything informing me of my status for Medicare enrollment on the socialsecurity.gov site. Is there someplace else I'm supposed to look? Should I call Medicare? Please advise. Thank you." Signed, Mary. And I said, "Fortunately, the end of August is still pretty far away, so we're not in danger of you having to go without insurance or make an expensive decision right now. It never hurts to call the Social Security Administration and to try and get them to at least report on the progress of your application. It has been my experience that some offices around the country are more efficient than others. If prodding them helps speed things up, I say go ahead and prod them. You have a password-protected online My Social Security or My Medicare account, I'm sure. One day, without any warning to you, they will drop a confirmation of your Part B coverage into your account. This document is a benefit verification letter, and it will list, among other information, your starting date for Part A, your starting date for Part B, and your Medicare number, which you already have because you have Part A. That document will arrive much sooner than a revised Medicare ID card. It will be your first confirmation that Medicare has been approved. I would like to have a copy of that when you receive it, as well as a copy of your current insurance ID card, just the front. If it is more convenient, you may just take photos of those and text them to me at my cell phone number. The only other thing I need is the information requested on the attached questionnaire pages. If you would like to try and shake things up by calling the Social Security Administration, I would not try to discourage you. Let me know what you find out." And she said, "Thank you. I should wait until I get all the confirmation from Medicare before I send you the information in that form. Is that correct?" And I said, "Send it now if you wish. That way a part of the job will be finished and there will be that much less to do in the future." So that's the kind of conversation I often have with potential clients who don't really know, they don't have any experience with the enrollment process of Medicare. But when you enroll in Medicare, you're going to be dealing with somebody at the Social Security Administration, and they will say, all right, I have the information I need. Now, they'll ask you what, for the elements or the pieces of information that they're going to require. And then they're going to say at some point, all right, your part of the process is done. You must now wait until we process our part of the application. So they will go away. Now, I have two clients. This is memorable. I have two clients that I encountered at the beginning of 2025. One client got his confirmation in 2 days. The other client had over 50 days. And then I had a third client who wound up having to call his congressman's office because it didn't look like the Social Security Administration was going to process his application in any reasonable period of time at all. And by the way, that worked. Now, I don't know if he had a friend in the congressman's office, but that did stimulate some activity and got him his Medicare confirmation. But for our friend Mary, who is wondering what is going on with her application, the nice thing is that she started way ahead of time, so she's not in danger of crossing over her effective date without knowing whether or not she has Medicare coverage. She's still got more than a month to find out, so I'm not concerned about her following the schedule because it'll be approved, I'm sure, long before her effective date will come around. Let's see, what else do we have? We've got more correspondence from another person. This would be from Terry. And Terry says, hey, Doug, I'm a fairly regular listener and a big fan of your It's the Only Book You Need. I must have said that at some point. He's quoting me. It was invaluable indeed in my situation, unhappily being dropped into Cobra 3 months before my 65th birthday. I'll really always be grateful to you now because I just got a premium adjustment notice from my Medicare supplement carrier, Mutual of Omaha in Georgia. The darn rate has gone up just over 8%, which is pretty small in today's inflationary times. In today's real dollars, that's exactly $4.14. I guess I'll have to skip a donut once in a while now. Anyway, your advice to buy a high deductible plan G has been advantageous on the premium front and on the out-of-pocket front as well. I have been diagnosed with a rather serious condition with lots of expensive tests and medications, and I'm scarcely $600 out of pocket this year, including the Part B deductible. That's $257 this year. So being scared of the high deductibles is just plain nonsense, considering the substantial savings in the premium. High Deductible Plan G for the win. Thanks to every one of you on the show. I guess that would include Randy, huh? This is from Terry in Sandy Springs, Georgia. By the way, my prognosis is good. And by the way, I have bought and given away at least a half a dozen copies of your book to my younger friends. Wow, what a guy. So I said, thank you very much for writing, Terry. I am very pleased both with the fact that my advice has served you so well and with the positive prognosis you've received. Best of luck in the future, and be sure to let me know if you ever think I can be of additional service to you. Signed, Doug Jones. So it's always fun to hear from correspondence from our favorite people. In fact, I have to list among our favorite people Stalker Susie. Stalker Susie says, hi, Doug. And all kidding aside, thank you so much for your podcast and your book, which made it seem like it could be easy and painless to sign up for Medicare. Following your good advice, I have found that to be true. I just heard from the Social Security office the other day that my Medicare was approved. Now I am lining up a supplement. No Medicare Advantage for me. And then I will look at drug plans using your new book. We'll definitely let you know how that goes. Best to you both. That's me and Randy, I guess. And I'm glad to hear that Randy had a mostly great time on vacation. Glad he and his wife are feeling better after their bout with the coughing lady gave him some kind of flu in England, as I recall. So that's it's always nice to hear from our correspondents, and I always enjoy sharing that with the listening audience and with Randy, who, by the way, is about ready to close up the shop today.
I am just about ready to lock the door. But before I do, I just wanted to say hi to Stalker Susie. Thank you for the well wishes. Yes, we are feeling much better. Uh, I think I told this to Doug during the last recording session. We now call this our most expensive nap ever.
But there was plenty of chow. You made it sound like it was
Yes,
just a few footsteps away down the gangway.
yes, absolutely. However, I do have one quick question for you. You know, I've always got a stump Doug question.
Oh boy. And you already stumped me today. I mean, is
I
it
know
kosher
I
to
can't.
stump me
It,
twice
it,
in one
it is so
episode?
much fun. I pulled out one more stumpable question. So, when was St. Charles incorporated?
St. Charles, Illinois?
Yes.
Okay. It was incorporated in, well, it was founded in 1835. That may be the incorporation date, but they had to change the name because there was another, it was called Charleston in the 1830s, and there was another Charleston, Illinois, which happens to have a branch of the University of Illinois in it. It's way down south. And so these two towns duked it out, verbally, or not verbally, but in writing. And St. Charles, Illinois lost, so they had to change their name from Charleston to St. Charles. I'm going to say 1835, excuse me.
1834, but I'm going to give
Oh,
you
okay.
that. You absolutely nailed it. I
Oh,
was I
good.
was I
That's
was going to
refreshing.
bring up the Charleston versus St. Charles. You absolutely nailed it. So you have absolutely rung the bell today.
Oh boy, a victory is sweet. It
Yes,
doesn't happen often
yes.
enough, and it's really sweet.
So here we go. There's two or three things I always need to do before we shut the door, and I think they're really important. Reach out to Doug if you need to by using this email address, dbj@mlmmailbag.com. Doug is licensed in every state of the union to help you with your Medicare supplement planning. MedicareForTheLazyMan.com. That's the place to go to check out all the good stuff we've got on the website, if I do say so myself. We would appreciate it in your wanderings through the internet if you'd drop some reviews for us. If you know, we're absolutely always trying to stay ahead of the travel logs, and we're in the last half of the year, so we really got to stick with the program. Last but certainly not least, thank you for joining us today. You could have been anywhere else doing anything else, and you weren't. You were with us sharing a few minutes with Doug Jones and the Medicare for the Lazy Man podcast, and that's exactly where we love to have you. But doggone it, you guys never track the time on your watch. So, just so you can put this down in your almanac on your paper for today, you have just spent about 32 and a half minutes with Doug Jones, the anti-insurance insurance guy, originally from Oklahoma, now living in Pugsleyville out in the middle of Illinois, and a little town that used to be called Charleston for about 15 minutes, but not now.
I got to
It's not
correct Randy. We moved north a couple of miles from formerly Charleston, now St. Charles, Illinois, to Wayne, Illinois.
Wayne. Is that anything
Wayne.
like Waynesville?
No, it's nothing like Waynesville. It's more like Mad Anthony Wayne. That's who it was named after.
How about
The
Wayne's World? Is it like
Wayne's
Wayne's
World,
World?
one of my favorite movies, and the one single Saturday Night Live spinoff movie that actually made a huge amount of money.
Yeah, it was
But
good. It really was good.
absolutely, and that took place theoretically in Aurora, Illinois, which is 20 miles south of St. Charles, Illinois. All of these towns are along the Fox River, but the village of Wayne, which it truly is a village, everybody's got 4 acres here, so there's very little conglomeration of homes. But the main road that goes east-west through Wayne, Illinois, is called Army Trail Road because General Mad Anthony Wayne, brought troops through here in I think the 1830s, to go chasing Indians. I don't know if they ever
Ah,
found any, but that's what they were doing. So we have Army Trail Road up to this very day. And the
So
town is named after Mad Anthony Wayne.
I do have one more question then.
Oh, boy, you're Mr. Curious today, aren't you?
Well, okay. We better just
No, go
absolutely.
ahead. Go ahead. I can't shut up about stuff I know. Don't ask me anything I don't know. That's going to be very embarrassing, though.
Well, I'm going to leave this question till next time around because
Okay,
it
what he
might
says.
get a conversation started. Then
All
the
right.
people want to go home.
We'll ask everybody to tune in early next time so
Yes,
they can
yes,
get a head start on the goofing around. Anyway, I'm
yeah.
going to say thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and come on back for our next episode. If you don't mind, we'd love to have you. Bye-bye.